I have to preface this because I understand we're playing with dangerous territory by like talking about stuff like this in
No,
these
no, no,
days,
no, no.
but this
And
is real
someone just tossed
marketing.
in a comment. Someone said depends what genre it is.
Big facts
Absolutely, it
too.
depends what genre it
But I
is.
would argue
It
in hip
definitely
hop,
depends.
what I'm saying makes sense for North American hip hop.
Are you thinking like old school boom bap, like just conscious, like
I'm saying all of it. I think a lot about a lot of it. This is again simplified. So if we really want to go through it, of course, women love all kinds of everything, and men love all kinds of everything. And I know a lot of R&B is getting popular with guys now that we're allowed to show feelings. Because keep in mind that, like, actually,
there you go.
I thought about.
That is what I was trying to get you to say.
Yeah, no,
That
no.
is what I
I
was
had
trying to
that
get you to
connection a
say.
little bit earlier, but I was trying to let you finish a little bit. Because, like, honestly, I thought about it as we were discussing it, and I'm like, nah, y'all are like really into like the emotional stuff, and like back
Well,
when I
bro,
was your age, that was
that's what
not
my
allowed.
boom. So look, I don't mean to cut you off,
No,
but
do
that
it.
is
This is good
exactly
shit.
that's the direction I was headed in when I was saying you need to take this in consideration when you're saying that, bro, because think of a kid like me. We grew up thinking that now it's cool for a dude to be showing his feelings, to be vulnerable emotionally, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, which is a huge difference. Even a 10-year, 15-year gap is
Yes, it
huge, bro,
is.
because that changed very quick in one decade from 2010 to 2020. Huge change in
Yeah,
terms of
preach
that.
it.
Now, if you take that in consideration, now what you're hearing is these dudes coming up and they're not afraid to be vulnerable and emotional. Listen to I don't know if you listen to Tory Lanez, but Tory Lanez is like in so many feelings on his songs.
My guy, I feel
And
like you're so right, and it's like I feel like I never really considered the fact that your age group actually went through a very different transition with regards to masculinity than my people's did. Um, and maybe
exactly.
that's why it's so good. This is why I knew I had to get y'all on this channel because yo,
Yes, sir.
I think I really do think what I'm saying to you is believed by many people my age and
I believe
whatnot.
that.
And
I
I
believe that, bro.
also think there are a lot of open-minded folk that are smarter than me that are like Holden's being kind of dense now, but yeah, I
No,
am.
I don't think it's that way. I think it's just this is kind of like a debate, you know. You give one side and then it doesn't mean that you're
Yeah, I
like
call these things
your feet's in the
interviews.
cement. Like,
They're
you know,
not
you can
really
move your
interviews.
toes.
They're discussions. I just want
Exactly, exactly.
no, but this is what I wanted. Usually this shit just comes up way later on. I'm like, nah, Drew's ready to go. All
No,
right.
we're right into it. 10 minutes in, man. Let's just deep dive. But that's what I was saying that um, that's why, to my point a few minutes ago, not only are young men comfortable talking about singing about these topics, but young men are also willing to listen to it because now they won't be like, oh no, this is a song for females. No, no, no. If you're in your feelings and you're a dude, you can still trap to some Tory Lanez that's singing the whole time. You don't feel like you don't feel feminine for doing that. No, it's normal now for a dude to be in his feelings. So whether you're making the music or consuming the music, you won't feel that like, oh, I shouldn't be listening to this because it's like a love song. Like, no, out of here.
Yeah,
That's
that's
a thing of the
amazing.
past.
Dude, that's awesome. I like that perspective a lot. I mean, I think we're catching up to you a little bit. We're still working on it in my like world, but this is really helpful, just for everybody, because we see things, right? We see moves, and we don't always understand them. Like, yo, a lot of us are like, I guess we have to do melody now. Like, that's actually conversations we have. Like, we don't understand like why or what, like.
Mm,
And then I'm realizing there's other things I've realized since doing this. Some of this is me playing stupid, folks. And that part, though, you really did catch me like off guard a little bit in terms of educating me, and I appreciate that. That's a real time knowledge, man.
that's
No,
what
but
it's all
like,
about,
and I
man.
fucks with Lil Peep. I sit there and wail my
Okay,
heart out
yeah,
to
there
Lil
you go.
Peep. Like
Well,
that
he's
shit's
got that emo
yeah, I
trap
fucks
vibe
with it.
to
It's
him.
so good. It's my favorite.
Yeah. You got people like him. XXX Tentacion was one who's really, really going in that lane. Well, he
Yeah,
had a lot of different lanes, but that was one of them.
no,
Um,
that's
they were
definitely true.
opening that pocket for all these new artists, man. Like I know it's crazy to say that XXX was so young when he passed, but I literally think he's like becoming an OG in the terms of like who's coming up right now.
I
He
would
really said
argue he's going to be a
he's
seminally important character. I would use the
exactly.
word seminal to describe him. He was very helpful in pushing forward a genre that allows a guy like Scarlord to do what he's doing today.
There you
I
go.
know what a Scarlord
Exactly.
is.
And even people like Juice World, like Juice World 2 is very
Mm.
versatile, but you know, he was still doing his thing. And what's cool about Juice is that he wasn't afraid to like rap, he wasn't afraid to sing, he wasn't afraid to trap. He was all over the
So y'all
place.
hear what he's
And
saying there? wasn't afraid. Those are big words in how you're describing this. That's fucking cool. So in a sense, what you're saying is put
Mm.
it in your heart on your sleeve as a mark of bravery.
Yes, absolutely. Hey, listen, bro. You're not gonna have like the people that are putting their vulnerability up front are the most confident people. Think about that. Not many people have like the balls to just get up there and talk about like their personal life and their relationships and their struggles and their, you know, some people would it would be a threat at their masculinity, especially if it were talking it from a dude's perspective. So you
Mm.
got the most confident people out here talking that talk because they're the ones who feel like they're able to say that and be comfortable with it. But not many people are like that. So that's why I'm saying he's not afraid to do it because it takes courage still,
I
you
like
know?
that. Yeah, I feel that. I agree. I mean, that part, I'm like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Not many people want to actually get up there and be like fallible. I think that's a good
Exactly.
way to put it. Fallible. It's
Yeah.
like there's this illusion that perfection that we chase. I am very like I'm at war with myself all the time about this. Like you have to be the best. You cannot fail. You must provide this, that, the next thing, strong, emotionless, and then like so I'm mad stoic more than I actually like fucking actually feel, because I don't,
Right.
expression is not simple. But like
No.
at the same
No.
time, I'm down to talk about it because shit's fucked
Yeah.
up. So this is
And look,
important
if we
stuff.
even deep if we dive even deeper to it, like if we're looking at the overall like the umbrella of hip hop, in foundation it was meant for like for you to be a man, for you to be tough. Like you weren't trying to give the impression that you were vulnerable or sad or in your feelings and this and that and that. But it's crazy to think that it evolved from a place like that. And there's still a pocket, a niche for that, for sure. But I'm just saying that now
So,
it's
but
allowed,
that's
and that just speaks on the culture of hip hop in big because it's so
so,
welcoming,
so
right?
let's go at that in a different angle. That has to do with environment. In
Okay,
Montreal, it's mad easy to be in your feelings and not have to worry about it. If you're in a very different environment,
I'm with you.
socioeconomic backgrounds, let's say you come
Mm-hmm.
from a hood, maybe literacy rates and education opportunities aren't the same. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
police are literally a threat to your life. Maybe walking. Yeah, I don't know if you all have ever done this, but look at the gang map in Compton and then really zoom the fuck in on Google Map and see how it's like block to block the territory shifts. Maybe this isn't as much the thing as it was, but like, yo, a lot of people in my age group grew up in some environments in different cities that are mad different than mine, right? Like, mad
Absolutely,
different. So,
absolutely.
if you trace the environment of a lot of the music outside of it, that's where like the stuff that's successful, at least when it's real, it's like, like, it's not that it's real as in the violence is glorified or whatever, but it's people in an environment that are forced to be tough in a way that I don't understand. I feel you.
I completely agree. I completely agree with you. But let me say this, just to be devil's advocate once again, is that even the kid growing up in violence and poverty and everything, bro, he still has feelings. He
Yeah.
still has feelings. He still has real relationships in his life, and he still has like these same vulnerable moments that I have or you have in a different environment. Those are basic human like
Truth.
emotions that everybody's gonna go through, no matter if you're from the street or if you're from a beautiful suburb. Like
But like
real life will still
cultural,
kick in.
so like from a middle class normative perspective, I'm gonna go to that level with it. I totally feel what you're saying because it's really like fits nicely into the middle class normative framework of life. But the lower class economic structure of places that look nothing like that maybe don't create the circumstances that make it so black and white. I'm not saying
Yeah,
you're wrong.
I'm with you. I'm with you though.
I'm
I
saying
understand what
that
you're saying.
without really going into specifics, which maybe at another time we could, it's not that simple to show emotions in environments where that is not necessarily positive. Whereas in our
I'm with you.
environment, it is super positive, especially if you're in school, especially if you're there. But yo, corporate America and in Montreal, maybe, and I have to be delicate here, but maybe showing emotion isn't the right move and you have to be stoic.